All right, so all praise to Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, better known as GMS for short. All right, also known as the Prophets of Doom. And this is where I have learned this truth, and this is where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel, Lord willing, I'm of that number. All right, this video we're going to go back into the prophecy that we find here in Revelation 13 verses 16 and 17. All right, so let's go back here. All right, so it reads Revelation. This is Revelation 13 verse 16. It reads, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." All right, this he that it speaks of is Esau Edom. All right, we are in the second leg of Rome. Okay, that was the beast that had a wound that was healed. Okay, Rome wasn't taken down all the way spiritually. This is Rome altogether. All right, being that there is a reincarnation is biblical. Right, the same spirits keep coming down here, which America is the spirit of Rome. All right, it is spiritual Rome and Egypt and Rome, Egypt, Sodom. Okay, there's a lot of things that there's a lot of different names that America goes by in the scriptures. People will think that since they don't see America, the word America in the scriptures, that America is not in here. But this is the it'll probably be the shortest rulership, but it is the greatest one of the greatest rulerships that this world has known. So of course it would be in the scriptures. But since these things were written in code, it doesn't just flat out say America. All right, but when we are awakened to this truth, we see America all over the place in these scriptures. Okay, so that he is America. All right, better known to us as Babylon the Great, also known as the future site of the lake of fire. Okay, and since this, and it is a system, all right, it's not just America alone. It is these other nations that have taken of the philosophies of the Edomite rulership. All right, this is just the capital. This is a capital of Edom. This is Babylon the Great. But there are other nations that are that have taken heed to the Roman way. All right, which also had some Greek ways in there, Assyrian ways in there. The Bible, all right, points to and speaks about all these things. Yeah, but the Lord has to allow you to have faith, allow you to be able to discern, allow you to have the right men put in front of you to guide you to this truth. He has to allow the Holy Spirit to be with you in order for you to see these things and understand them, believe in these things, you roll in the Spirit, and then go out and teach these things. Okay? So Revelation 13:16, "And he causeth all." Being that this rulership, this dominion, is taking over the whole earth, because Esau was promised the fatness of the earth. Let's get that really quick. Hold on a minute. All right, this is Genesis 27 chapter. Genesis 27:38 says, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew, and of the dew of the heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. All right, that should make you think about the militaries. All right, all these wars and shit going on. All right, especially thinking about America as a country. How many years have we been a so-called nation? All right, and how many years has this nation been at war? Same thing with Rome. Now you have to tie in Rome's military campaign. All right, how they had hubs, bases everywhere they took over. Right, the same thing with America. There's so many similarities between Rome and America, the rise and the coming fall, that are similar. Okay, because it is the same. Okay, Rome is America, America is Rome, all over again. It is that deadly wound healed. Let me finish this and then we'll go and find out when that was. All right, when actually was the wound healed? Okay, so Genesis 27:40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So Esau would go away, okay, and then would come back to rule. And that is that when we had the dominion, they call it the Dark Ages now. All right, that's when they were down. All right, they weren't defeated all the way. That's when they were down though, and then when they came back, they started spreading lies. All right, taking over, deceiving the world. So let's go to Revelation 20:3. All right, the heading of Revelation chapter 20 reads Satan bound. All right, there is a spiritual demon, Satan, and there is also a man who comes to do the workings of Satan. Now, let me find that really quick before we go in here. Let's go to Revelation 20:2 and get this word for Satan. Hold on a second.
Satanas. Thayer's lexicon. Satan. Satan.
All right, that was the word for Satan in Revelation 20:2. So let's go down here. Outline of biblical usage. It says adversary, one who opposes another in purpose or act. Okay, so there is a spiritual demon, Satan. Okay. Also down here, definition 2 says a Satan-like man. All right, a Satan-like man. All right, so we see we're speaking of a man here. Also up there in that verse 20, that word devil is in it. So let's go get the word for devil. Don't worry, we're going to read this verse. I'm just getting these words first. This is the word for devil.
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
All right. Outline of biblical usage. It says, number 2 says metaphor. It says applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, may be said to act a part of the devil or to side with him. All right. Yahweh being the true name of the Almighty, the Most High God. All right. His name is not God. God is a trait and a characteristic. But the Most High God's name is Yahweh. His son is Yahweh Shai. Okay? That his name is not Jesus or Yeshua. His name is Yahweh Shai. All right? So again, the word for devil, metaphor, applied to a man who opposing the cause of Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh Wah, Yahweh Why, Yahweh Shai. Y is and, all right? So Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Let me start all over now. Metaphor, all right, applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Okay, so the Lord has deceiving spirits, lying spirits, all right? He also has the Holy Spirit, okay? So let's go back here now. So let's start again, Revelation 20, with the heading being Satan bound. All right, listen to this. It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, just like we have these chains of darkness, all right, that will only allow us to go so far, all right, to be in captivity. Okay. They also, at this time that we're about to read about, also had a great chain put on them. This is a chain that we're talking about, to where they didn't have any power. They got brought low. Okay, they weren't able to go out and deceive. Okay, they were put into some form of captivity. All right. Revelation 20 and 2, and he laid hold the dragon, that old serpent, the serpent from, okay, the garden, and the dragon representing Rome. Okay, he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Remember, these are talking about people, which is the devil and Satan. All right, the people who come to do the bidding of the spiritual demon Satan. All right. Ultimately, all right, they think that Satan is their God, the God. All right, but ultimately, the spiritual demon Satan does the bidding of Yahweh. All right, there has to be protagonists, there has to be antagonists. Spirits drive both. All right, what spirits are you taking hold of? Okay. So Revelation 20 and 2 again, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. Now Revelation 20, you jump from 3 and read down to 7. I mean, you jump from 3 and pick back up on 7. That's where it picks back up at. The subheading above verse 7 in Revelation 20 reads, Satan freed, doomed. Okay? It says, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. All right? The people who come to do the work of the spiritual demon Satan will be loosed out of being in bondage, being not be able to be deceived anymore. I mean, being put that chain on them to where they couldn't go and deceive. Okay? They couldn't go out and deceive anymore. All right? So listen up. It says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, all over the place. All right, they're going to go out and deceive Gog and Magog, to gather them to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. All right, so they were able to, when this chain got removed, okay, they were able to go out and deceive. All right, and that is where the Renaissance era started. All right, if you go to this word Renaissance, let me get it really quick. All right, Renaissance, it says a great period of revival of classical. What is classical? All right, their old ways. Okay, their old ways. Specifically, the Roman Empire. Okay, hold on a second. Great period of revival of classical based art and learning in Europe that began in the 14th century. Okay. It also means, it says literally means rebirth. Okay. Rebirth what? It says grow anew, be reborn. All right. What was being reborn? All right. That would have you just think what we just read there would have you think it was just art. All right. But that's not the only thing. There was architecture. All right. Now you can go look at DC, compare those buildings to Rome. All right. You can go and compare the Senate to Rome, right? The plebeians and the patricians. Okay. You can start comparing all this to Rome. Inaugurations. Okay. Bread and circuses are running rampant over here. People can't keep their mind off of the petty shit that's put in front of them. Right? They're not paying attention to what really matters. All right. They don't even know that they're in a war. And what I mean by war is right now it's a spiritual thing. But pretty soon, actual, factual, right, physical war is going to come to this place, and people aren't going to be ready. All right. What else was I about to look up though? Oh yeah. So also, let's look this up really quick. Okay. Also, let's look this up. All right. Medical Renaissance, which hey, the men that you get put in front of you to guide you to the truth is very important, especially now in a day where things are being taken down. All right, the lies are starting to take hold even more. All right, starting to put their grips on people even more. All right, one big stronghold is the lies of Christianity, telling you fables. There's no such thing as a virgin birth or an immaculate conception. There's no such thing as a trinity, how this world would have you think. The Son and the Father are separate beings, man. They're of the same mind, but they are separate beings. Okay, yes, the Son is considered a God. That again, that's a title and a characteristic, but he is separate from his Father. All right, there is no hell. There is no place where your soul burns forever. All right, these are things. These are strongholds that are on people's minds. These are the fables and cunningly devised fables that we were told or that we were warned about. All right, but listen to this medical renaissance. The medical renaissance, a period spanning roughly from 1400 to 1700, marked a significant shift in European medical practice and knowledge. All right, and there's a lot that goes into that. I'm not going to go into that. There's a lot of gods that this points to, right? All the gods that are over here. All right, Romans, Greeks, Egyptian, and then we mentioned the uh, Samaria. All right, they go all the way back there too. Okay, so those are just a couple examples for you to go look at. Now, while thinking about the Renaissance, the medical Renaissance, remember it's a renewing. So they were able to, when that chain was lifted, they were able to go out and deceive, just like it said here. Revelation 20 and 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. All right. Going out, telling these, giving their renewed version of Rome. All right. Putting new twists on there to get everyone to come to them. All right. Worship. Okay. They gave you their image. They put their image out there by speaking their philosophies and their beliefs, which included many things that are outside of the truth. All right, many things that make you turn your back on the Lord. All right, for example, on this day, what is the rainbow? What is the rainbow a sign of? All right, but what did the Lord tell you that it was a sign of? All right, they're twisting everything. And the more that they get you to believe in their philosophies, to give into what they say, all right, this is building an image. Okay, this is building an image, old of classical things. All right, they're giving you their image, and when you decide to, or when you would rather go the ways that they believe, all right, you're allowing this image to speak. And what's coming in this prophecy is a time of, all right, you're not going to only be able to speak like you are on their side, all right? Not only do they want you to do that, they already have you worshiping, whether you believe that it is worshiping or not. They have you doing their deeds. They have you going against the Lord when you do their things. All right, so they know what's up. All right, this is a spiritual war. Let me get that really quick. Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is what you're up against. But the world has a veil pulled over their eyes. The Lord has put upon them deep sleep. With the help of, all right, the Lord used these people to put this spirit of deep sleep on them. All right, darkness, we are in chains of darkness in this flesh, but they are a tool of the Lord's, okay, to filter out whom are not his. So when they came back into power by deception and pushed the lies, the blasphemies all over the world to the four corners of the earth, they gave you their image, and you following after them allowed this image to speak, okay? And it gathered more people, became traditions. All right, a tradition that you think you have is actually theirs. They they made it that way. All right. So now in this day that is coming, let me try to speak a little bit slower because I get twisted up. I'm trying to become a better teacher or teachable with the things that I have learned to be true. Okay. I don't know everything yet. We're still growing. But in this day, instead of just hearing you speak what they want you to speak, all right, in this day, instead of just having you celebrate what they want you to celebrate, which is anything, as long as they get you to go against Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, all right? In this day, what is right around the corner is they're going to have you take a badge, receive a badge, right? Receive something physical that lets everyone know that you are on their side. That is what this mark is, okay? So this is what we're doing, Ephesians 6:13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. All right, we do the things, we've come back to our old paths. All right, the Lord has allowed us to see this world for what it really is. All right. Man. Let me read a little bit more of this. Ephesians 6:14 now. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh, all right, and Yahweh Shai. Now, did you hear that? This is a two-edged sword. That's what this is. The sword of the Spirit is this truth. The sword of the Spirit is the word of Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right. Ephesians 6:18, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. All right, so these people have renewed the Roman Empire, the Roman rulership, the Edomite rulership, which is the Renaissance. All right, many different philosophies come along with that. Anything that is outside of this temple is what they push. Okay, and then when they push it, all right, they're giving you their image. You are taking that image by, or you are wandering after that image when you believe in these things. We try to tell you the truth. You want to pull your shoulder away, okay, and go the way of the world. Whether you think it's in line with them or not, it's outside of being in line with Yahweh and Yahushai. That's the point. Another point is it is not our word. All right, did you hear what it said down here? What was that? Hold on. What was this? And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of, is it our words? No, which is the word of Yahweh and Yahushai. Okay. Again, Ezekiel 3:17. Listen to this. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. This is not our words. Okay? It's not our words. This is coming directly from the Lord through the Spirit. All right? You check this time. All right, so let me go back. All right, so now you understand what the taking hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. All right, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. All right, we're in the midst of that little season now. We're actually at the end of this little season. All right, because it started back here. That little season started back in the Renaissance. All right. Now let's go back here to the prophecy. All right, Revelation 13:16. And he, we went over the he, causeth all. Now he's able to cause it all because of that power that he has, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, causeth all. These people are not just newly worshiping this this he. Okay, remember, since the Renaissance period, since the renewal of the Roman Empire, the Edomite Empire, they've been pushing their lies. They've been pushing everything to get you to go against our power, speaking to you Israelites. All right, so their philosophies, their beliefs. Okay, when I say theirs, I don't mean they're the first ones that come up with them. All right, but I do mean that it is theirs in which they made them theirs. All right, they made it their own. This is where they sit comfortable, going against the Lord. All right. So in that fact that people believe in what they say, they have people have all actually also became comfortable in doing the things that these people say, regardless of what they name it. They can say that it's their own traditions, that it's been in their family, for hundreds, thousands of years. All right, they have made you and your predecessors, all right, think that this is your traditions when it's not. Our traditions go way back to the Lord when we were known as the sons of God. We fell. All right, we fell. And as time went on, these strongholds got stronger. All right, but this truth breaks down all these strongholds. All right, again, the Lord has opened our eyes to where we can see the world now for what it is. We know about Ephesians 6 and 12. All right, that is where we went, right? We know that we are in spiritual warfare. Yeah, Ephesians 6:12, all right? We know that. We know what's going on here. Okay? Most people don't even know that they're in a war, which means you've lost already, man. I mean, unless the Lord has you wake up, right? Everything is through the spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. But most people walking around here like zombies, man. They don't know what's going on. They want their bread in circuses. They want to stay comfortable in doing things that they shouldn't be doing just because you are allowed to do something. They get a lot of people with that, telling you you are in the land of freedom and liberty. Okay? When the Lord says that you aren't free to do everything you want, there are rules and regulations. All right? No, we cannot follow all the laws 100%, but that does not and should not stop you from trying to walk in perfection. You should know that just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. All right, you out here following their speed limits, maybe not all the time, but you out here following their speed limits, their dress codes. You out here saying that you shouldn't talk about what is that? Politics, sex, and religion. All right, they told you that because the truth lies within those things. If you start paying attention to how they use sex, right, how they use these politics, and the truth about um, the scriptures, right, that might help you a little bit. But they got people saying that automatically. You follow their philosophy. That's the point. You listen to everything that they say. You take heed to everything they say, and you make it yours. Somewhere down the line, it has become a tradition for you. Their traditions. Okay, the traditions of men. Let me see. Let's go first here to was it Mark? Hmm. All right, hold on a second. My bad. Let's go to here. Yeah, this is it. Colossians. Let's start at 5. Let me see. Let's see what it says in the NLT. Hold on a second. I'm going to start at the top. Colossians 2 and 1. I want you to know, this is in the NLT. I want you to know how much I have agonized for you and for the church of Laodicea and for many other believers who have never met me personally. I want them to be encouraged and knit together by strong ties of love. And what do we find out what love was here? All right, in the scriptures. Okay, and this is love, that you follow after the commandments of the Lord. No, that's paraphrasing. All right, as we have heard from the beginning. Okay, the Lord didn't sneak any new things in here. All right, the Lord didn't sneak the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah in here for you to follow after them today. Okay, that's not what the rainbow is for, man. All right, we go after the commandments, the laws, and the statutes that we have heard from the beginning. Okay, he put them down here in his book for us to know. All right, this is an open book test that's coming up, and a lot of people are going to fail, man. Colossians 2:2 in the NLT. I want them to be encouraged and knit together by strong ties of love. I want them to have complete confidence that they understand Yahweh's mysterious plan, which is the Messiah himself. We walk after his ways, man. He is our example. He is the only thing that we should be looking to. It says, in him lie hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. I am telling you this so no one will deceive you with well-crafted arguments. All right, they try to sneak in how they think today it should go. That by, the Lord told us this a long time ago, but he would have evolved to our will. He would have evolved to the things that we want to do. All right, that's not how these work, man. We don't conform, or the Lord doesn't conform to us. We are to conform to the ways of the Lord, man. Colossians 2:7. Oh, hold on. Nah, I skipped. We start again. Colossians 2:4. I am telling you this so no one will deceive you with well-crafted arguments. For though I am far away from you, my heart is with you, and I rejoice that you are living as you should, and that your faith in the Messiah is strong. All right, remember, faith alone, all right, just saying that you have faith is not faith. All right, faith goes hand in hand with works. All right, and vice versa. Colossians 2:6, and now, just as you accepted the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, as your Lord, you must continue to follow him. Let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness. And that's one thing that we are thankful, man. All right. But Colossians 2:8. Now listen to this. Don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from the spiritual powers of this world, rather than from the Messiah. Okay? Let me read that verse in the King James. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the Messiah. All right, we're not here to follow men's traditions. If you can't recognize what the Lord tells you to do from men's traditions, man, you got to pray. You have to pray, and you got to open up that Bible and read, which is what the Lord tells you. All right, you have to study. You have to become workmen in this. Grow in the truth. And you won't be able to be fooled if you are of the Lord's. All right. If you're not of the Lord's, these are all going to be hard sayings to you. It's going to be a struggle for you to put away the world and come into the light. I don't want to know that feeling. Okay. We came out of the world. So we didn't come out of being perfect in this time. All right. We didn't come out of that. We came out of being imperfect. And all of that is a testament to the Spirit, man. All of that is a testament to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. We didn't come out on our own. All right, we came out of this because we came out of this stupor, this deep sleep. We came out of this sottishness because of the spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahushai. All right, through men. A lot of people have a problem with men knowing the truth, taking heed to this, and then passing this on. The first thing you hear is, well, we're not coming up underneath anybody. All right, we're going to learn this all on my own. I've been doing this on my own, and I'm going to keep doing it on my own. All right, which, yes, you should consider all men liars to the point to where you go and search these things out. And then you'll find out, all right, if the Lord allows it, and then you'll find out that you need men. You need elders. You have to come up under somebody, man. You're going to have to ultimately come up under Yahushai. All right, the disciples, Yahushai, David, the disciples, okay, the 144,000. All right, there's an order to all of this. There are also lying spirits down here that have you fighting against the truth. All right, they won't allow you to go open the book and see these things that the Lord tells us plainly, or the ones that he wants to know this. All right, you won't be able to go open the book. All you're going to sit down here and do is say that you have faith and leave it at that. Okay? Man, I don't even know where I was at now. So yeah, they've given you their image, which is, it's not a statue, it's not a picture, it's not, okay? Their image is, all right, if they form the world in the way they want it to be, all right, in the form that they've made, all right, they have all these philosophies, beliefs, in order to get to the point where they want to be, which is in the seat of the Most High, all right? They have to push this philosophy, that philosophy, in order to accuse you to the Lord, too, at the end, all right? In order to accuse you, they have to do all this. All right, so they give you their image, all right, putting that battery in your back, having you take hold to it because it pleases you, because you find it, you make it up in your mind that this has been a tradition of yours. You don't want to leave it. You think you've gotten yourself some kind of status in this world by where you are in this life. The Lord put you where you are at, but you think you did it. All right, so they already got the pride in you. All right, you celebrating birthdays, they already got the pride in you. You want to do things your way. You want to eat what you want to eat, all right, despite what the Lord has told you. Okay? They've already set that pride in you. That's what they have. They have pride, all right? For one thing that they good at pushing is their pride. You got it. When really, it's something that they gave you, man. See, we don't worship the creature. We worship the creator. All right, so they give you their image, and in you following it and passing it down, you are allowing it to speak. All right, you ain't got to have a blackboard where you writing out chalk with these people. Okay, you are just going their way, and in doing that, you're teaching whoever's watching you. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know what kind of excuse you're giving people. Right, but you're giving people some type of excuse to stay in this world and not come over to what the word of the Lord says, man. Which all of it is prophecy. We can't be mad at that. All right, we can be sickened by it, vexed by it, annoyed by it, but we know that this is the way and the will of the Lord. Okay, and there's only a certain amount of seats that are going to be on that chariot, just like there was only a certain enough. There's just enough room in that ark that Noah built for who was in it. All right, when the Lord told Noah to shut that door, or when the Lord shut the door on that ark, that was it, man. There wasn't no, oh, I was just playing, can I get in now? You know what I mean? Or showing up fashionably late. Okay, there was none of that. And there isn't going to be any of that this time around. Just like when Noah told them people about the rain. They didn't believe it because they had never seen it before. They always got to see something before they believe that it's the Lord. All right. They thought it was just an old ass man Noah just talking shit until that first drop hit, and then they looked over and seen that ark shut. The whole time they seen Noah building that ark. How long do you think that took? That thing was huge, man. And the whole time they chose not to help nor to take heed. All right, it's going to be the same thing this time around. We telling y'all that the great deliverance is coming through the chariots of the Lord, which are what the world ignorantly calls UFOs. All right, they tell you that in those UFOs are little green men. That's not the truth. In those UFOs are, all right, those are the Lord's chariots. Okay, and so-called Negroes, Native Americans. All right, we are going to be in those chariots. Okay. And just like you have never seen those things before, you don't believe that it's going to happen. All right, until people start getting delivered, then you're going to know you messed over, man. Then you're going to know that you messed up. All right. So let me go back here now to the prophecy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to cut this video and come right back with the rest of this prophecy, because this has been too long, or not too long, but I'll make this another part. All right, so with that, all praise to Yahweh, Baal Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Baal Hashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, better known as GMS for short, also known as the Prophets of Doom. All right, these are where I have learned this truth, and these are where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I'm of that number. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.